Alright, hey guys, this is Zijan here. Today in this video I'm gonna talk about how I made this short film, which I forgot to play. Yep, so you can see this is a simple flower opening animation. I'm gonna talk about how I modeled the flower petal, how I made the scene, and especially how I animate the flower opening. This is using Cinema 4D's bullet simulation with my custom animation. So you're gonna learn how to mix the simulation with your custom animation, and also we're gonna talk about how I made the material for the whole scene. Yeah, so let's get started. All right, so let me just give you an overall view of what this project looks like. So you can see I also forgot to mention that we're gonna talk about how I use the new cinema particle system to make the flower dust and also the leaves falling. You can see, hopefully you can see these little dots over there. So the whole animation looks like this. It's gonna be a little bit slow, just bear with it. Alright, so we start zooming out, and then some dust flowing, and then some leaves flowing by, and that's the whole animation. Simple. Alright, so let's talk about the first part, how I modeled the flower petal. Okay, so as you can see, this is very parametric model. So if we zoom into this, you can see this is these are actually cloned onto a spline. This is most spline. It comes default with Cinema 4D. And let me just copy this into a new file so that you can see it better. I don't need this. I don't need the here. I don't need yep, that's pretty much it. So you can see this is the spline doing the work. So we can see the animation like this. This is by animating the whole curve, bend, twist, all those. And then let me show you how I made the modeling part. So this is actually just a disc, simple disc, and it doesn't look fancy at all. And then I have a quad remesh to remesh it to this polygon model so that I can have a better bend deformer and also the taper you'll see later on. For this selection, it doesn't really matter because I didn't end up using it. And then you can see I have a bend deformer on each side. They're like this, so that I get this, it kind of looks like chips. So, you know, the flower petal will be a little bit bent over. And then I have a taper, which looks like that. It's not a lot, just a little bit. But I believe I have animation on this, like this. So you can see during the whole animation, I have it a little open up a little bit. You will see later on why I do that. And then I have two displacers. Whoops. So one is controlling the outline, you can see here. So what I did is have a noise, and the most important thing is that I actually have it on the direction planar, and this plane is only affecting axis, which is this direction. If you don't, or what it does by default is, I believe it's vertex normal, which is giving the whole surface a displacement. But I don't want that, at least not on this displacer. I just change it to a planar, and then you can see what it does on Y. This is basically what it did before. And for the Z action, this is just going with this direction. So I chose to have minus X displacement, which gave me these curved shape. And then I have another displacer, which is doing what it's supposed to do by default, which is giving me this kind of ripple deformation. And this is just a stretched noise. And also I have a gradient on top, which you can see. If I don't have the gradient, it will look like this. So the gradient basically subtract the effect on the edge of the petals. If you can see what I'm talking about here. Yeah, I guess it's very subtle. And then I have a spline wrap, which is just wrapping it onto the most spline that I just deleted. And then that's all for the flower petal. Okay. All right. So that was for the flower petal modeling. Now I'm gonna talk about how I made the animation. Alright, so in this part I'm gonna talk about how I mix the simulation tag with custom animation. So let's copy the... Wait, what do I want to copy? Alright, so let's copy this most spline and also the flower petal into a new scene. And let's just start from scratch, so there's no spline wrap, and as you can see, this is what we got before. Let's just move it somewhere else. And then I'm just gonna do a new most spline from scratch. Okay, so this is what the default most spline would look like. I'm just gonna make it shorter. Then let's say, so if you actually play with it, toggle this little arrow down, you can see more options. And what you can do is actually make this go above 100, like this. But now you can't see anything because the end is at 100, which is my fault. You should probably get this end like way above 100, and then you can actually toggle with the curve, bend, twist, all these settings. Like if you do this, well, you can see we probably should have make it like this, and then let's have some kind of bend. And then a little bit of curve. What curve does is, you can see if you don't have any curve, this is just a two-dimensional plane. But if you have a little bit of curve, it's gonna twist it towards an x-axis. And then the twist is actually gonna make it just twist around this plane, the X and Z plane, which you can play with it yourself. I'm just gonna make a simple adjustment. So you can see we only have one spline like this. You can actually have way more segments here, but that's not what I want. I can actually make the angle horizontal, or wow, this is actually kind of cool. Alright, just angle H, make the heading twist a little bit, and then I'm gonna just move it backwards like this. And then going to object, I want it to be separate segments. As you can see, If it's complete spline, then you just have one segment that's really, really long, which is not what we want. We want separate segments so that each one is going to have a little bit of curve like this. This is actually really, really nice shape. Alright, and yeah, if you toggle the start, it's gonna trim the path. Yeah, it's just like After Effects trim path. So, oops, that's not enough. Yeah, like that, I guess. I can make the curve spiral not that intense. And then go to spline, make this a bit, and then have it bend a little bit less, and then not curve that much. And also I want it to twist a bit so that you can see you get this a little bit nicer curve here. And yep. I'm gonna make this way longer, and then the spiral can be a bit stronger. Go back, and the twist and the bend might be a little bit too much for my taste. Yeah, that's about it. And then let's say this is enough. We can make a bit of animation here. So I want the curve, bend, twist, and maybe the spiral, and maybe let it grow a little bit. So I can do it like this. So the first frame would be somewhat a little bit smaller, and then the bend would not be that much. Maybe. I'm not sure. And then let's say this is good enough. Oh, by the way, you can change the display mode like this. I don't know what the heck is going on. I can just change the display mode to line, which is the ordinary spline looking thing. And this looks really good. It looks kind of like a vase. And then I want the end to be, let's say, a little bit more. Let's say like this. And let's make the keyframe. Turn on auto key. And then let's see. Okay, it's not too bad, but it's not good either. Let's make the segment a bit less, say 8 or maybe 6, I guess. Okay, so this is kind of like what I want the flower petal to have an animation like this. And let's just delete this simulation tag, and then let's make this wrap onto this mouse spline and see what we got here. Yep. So you can see this flower petal getting thicker at the bottom. That's exactly because of the taper. Because you can see if I disable the taper, it doesn't have any effect, right? Let's actually not make that animation. So yeah, I actually like how, oops, let me change it to 25 frames per second first, because that was my original project file. And let's change that strength, yeah, maybe like this. You know what? I don't want any animation here. It doesn't look good from this perspective. Okay, as you can see, this is wrapping on pretty good. And the reason why I have bend deformer in the last chapter was because if I toggle this off, you can see I actually, so first I have the spline wrap has a little bit of rotation. This is because if you don't have any rotation, it's gonna look like this. The flower petals are penetrating each other and it just doesn't look good. So I made it a little bit twisted. I think it's -1. Yep. And then also you can change the size, which I also did here. So you can use both the size and also the taper. You can use them together. And yeah, you can see without the bend deformer, it's just gonna look like this. It's really harsh. It doesn't look good. If I have bent it on one side and the other side, it looks a little bit better. Maybe I can change the strength a little bit. And then I can actually just toggle these. Yeah. All right, let's see the animation one more time. Okay, it looks like this, which is not very good. And also, let's actually get that taper back again, because once it's opened, it doesn't look good at all. Let's say I want this kind of strength. Yeah, okay. Yeah, sure. I'll settle for this. So you can see this. By far, we have done everything with hand. This is hand keyed keyframe, and now I want to have a little bit of motion, subtle, onto these flower. So here it is. We're gonna use the simulation tag. And I'm just gonna say it's soft body or cloth. It doesn't really matter that much. Let's go with this soft body tag. And I want the bendiness to be, I'm just gonna type in whatever random number here. And also hit Control D to go into your project setting, go into simulation, scene. I don't want any gravity at all. And then the scene scale should be, let's say it's 10, because you can see my flower is not that big. The grid spacing is 50, and so this flower is probably 60 centimeters long, which is actually huge. All right, let's see. Whoops. So you can see this. Flower does not follow our animation at all, and we're gonna fix that. So going to your tag, and you can see this mix animation thing. Going there, and let's say with follow shape, let's try that. You can try everything like that. It does not look good at all. Okay, so maybe with pins and with force. Let's try all of them. Voila! Now you have the animation. You have the flower following exactly what the curve is trying to do. So maybe just have a little bit less of influence. And then, of course, you're gonna need some simulation force or wind or turbulence. In this term, I'm gonna try, let's see, I want wind, and maybe I want the wind to be blowing. Yeah, you can see it is reacting to the wind's direction. And then maybe you let the wind to be a little bit stronger and a little bit turbulence. Turbulence scale is shorter. And then this is really, really strong. So let's say I also want field to have the wind only affect certain part of the flower. Let's say like this. Okay. And I also want some jiggle deformer so that the flower have that little bit flex. So that this is why I have this jiggle here. You can see, ooh, that is very strong. That's not what I want. Maybe have the strength lower. Now let's see. Okay, now we're talking. Okay, this is actually okay. It's not bad. Maybe a little bit stronger. Nope. Yeah, that's what I want. Looks very good. Okay, and then if you are okay with this motion, you can just go to the tag and then go to cache and then just hit cache object. So with Cinema 4D 2024.4 update, I think you get this cache location. You can cache it outside so that you have the cache on your disk, which is very good, but I'm not going to do that because I already have the cache in the source project file. So I'm just going to hit cache object, and I probably shouldn't hit that. Oh, okay. Wow, that's fast. That's way faster on my PC. Okay, so this is cached, which means you can just drag the timeline and see this bounce like this. And also these orange lines are you can toggle them on and off here in the soft body tag, soft body, and then you have the straw option. You can see when selected or always or off, which just turn it off. And I think this is pretty much it for the keyframe animation mixing with simulation. And yeah, you can drop it under, let's say, a cloth surface to give it a little bit of thickness, let's say like this. And then you can see this is not very interesting looking. It's very harsh on the edge. And then just put it under a subdivision surface. Wow. Okay, this is pretty nice. I'm happy with it. Hope you learned something. And then this is the animation chapter. Also, let's talk about something else, like as a bonus. So what I did here was to make a whole. I actually used a simple landscape object and then just cut off the part that I don't need, and then have two cameras, one looking at very, very close-up scale, one is very, very far away, and then just this is very, very simple animation. It's not that big of a deal. Yeah, like this. And I think this is it for the animation part. Next up, I'm probably going to talk about how I made the particle simulation, like you see here. Probably can't see that clear because these dusts are really, really small here. Alright, see you in the next chapter. Alright, so in this part I'm going to talk about how I used the Cinema 4D's new particle system to do the to make these floating dust and also the leaves. So just a quick breakdown of my project. You can see during the animation play, the emitter start emitting particles right around frame 5 or 25, and then these particles just exist and fly off and then died, and so does the leaf. They basically are very, very simple, just a few force and wind force to move them, and then they just die. Yeah, just like human being. All right. So one bad thing about this particle system is that when I'm trying to work inside this viewport, you can see there is no way I can see the flower shape. Like if you go to Redshift render view and let me try. Hope it doesn't crash my cinema instantly. Okay, it's pretty slow. I'm probably gonna cut this part out. Come on. Okay. Yeah, well, so as you can see, these flower petals are totally not represented in the viewport, which actually is kind of a headache. Like, I want to see the rotation of these petals, but there is no way I can see how they are represented. Like, if I don't use cache and just draw, change their draw size, like I can change them to dots. Let me just pause this for a sec. So if I change them to dots or radius, it just doesn't show up. There are a lot of glitches in this version of particles. So yeah, let's start a new scene and let me show you what I did. So if you go to, I'm just gonna undock this simulate panel, and then you can see you got 4 emitters. I just used the basic emitter for this, and then you can see this is just like every emitter, it just emits. And then let's grab simulate force. So what I did was create a turbulence or wind, it doesn't matter. Let's say I want to have this, and then you have to make the force a child of the particle group, and then let's say the wind speed is really high, and then turbulent frequency, and then also I have some kind of a modifier. Maybe, yeah, let's do that later. So change the basic emitter to what do I want to do? Oh, alright. So what I have is actually I set a lifetime of, let's say 50, and then a variance of 10, or maybe a little bit better. And then for velocity, I set it to, it doesn't matter. I want some kind of variance in this. And then also I want the spread to be a bit better so that it spreads out of this rectangle shape. And then let's say for color, maybe choose a random. So in my source file, I use the purple color. You can use whatever you want. And then you have a radius. This is going to control how big your render is. So let's say 5 and variance is 2. This is probably going to be way too big. And let's say that's good for now. I'm gonna have a bit of a friction in this group. You can see the friction working here because the particle are slowing down rapidly. Maybe not that much. Angular, it doesn't matter. I don't have angular here. And then let's say also want some turbulence. Let's make it really strong so that you can see this. And the scale is bigger so that it's more, it's way too high. And also scale might be too big. Yeah, as you can see, this is pretty much what I have for the flower dust. I just changed the emitter shape to a circle and just make it emit upwards like this. This is basically it for the dust shader, and then Redshift can just render this for free. So you can, let's actually pause at a frame and then see if this does anything. Okay, so Redshift by default render these as spheres. You can also add a tag on the particle group, render tag rs object, and then say particle maybe custom object, and then you can have, let's make something wonky here. All right. Ooh, this is way too big. Let's change it back. Optimize the sphere, or maybe quad instances, and then have some kind of dome light here. Ooh, I might be screwing myself up here. Okay, stop the IPR, and no dome light, just this. Let's see why it's not working. Weird. Okay, if I don't have this, okay, I'm just gonna use a basic cube here. Custom object to put it here, and then it's way too big. So maybe let's try first shrink it down, maybe shrink it down way more, and then let's just add some more. Okay, well, this is pretty much it, how you can render these particles. And then you can give them color, and then just inside your Redshift material, try search for color user data. This is it, and then just give it to, let's use an incandescent material, and put it into the illumination color, and then this is the material I want to use. And for this, go to preset, MoGraph color. Oh, actually, particle color. And you should be able to see the color. Unless I'm doing something wrong. Maybe drop them inside of the oh yeah, because the Redshift is rendering them as custom objects, so you need to put the material on the objects, which I did not. Okay, so this is basically how I rendered the dust. Just give them a glow, really strong glow. And also for the leaves, I just use, let me go back. I just used some leaf shapes like this. This is weird. So what I did was have some planes, and then just give them some bevel or some curve. And then all these materials are from, if I remember correctly, it should be from Megascans. And then I just color correct their color, and then that's it. That's all I did. I just got the flower shape on the UV, and then that's it. So yeah, again, some ramp, I guess. So you can't really see your particles object if you choose to render them as custom objects. You can't there is no way that I can find that let me see my object's rotation. I can see their lines or ticks or arrows or dots, but I can't see my custom objects. So yeah, this is a very short very brief tutorial on the how to use particles in Cinema 4D. And I think this is it. See you in the next video. Bye.